criminal justice system in the Philippines was patterned after the US version. The USA has police, court, and correction, while in the Philippines we have 5 pillars. Aside from this, meron din tayong tinatawag na the most pampered man, which is the accused, and the most forgotten man, which is the victim. Let us now go to the 5 basic concepts of Philippine criminal justice system. Number 1 is the law enforcement pillar. It is the initiator of an action. It comprises of different law enforcement agencies in the Philippines. Kasama na dito ang NBI, PNP, PDEA, and even the Armed Forces of the Philippines at marami pang iba. The law enforcement or the prime mover of the criminal justice system starts once na ang crime has been committed by investigation. The law enforcement work consists of the prevention and control of crimes, enforcement of the laws, and effecting the arrest of the offenders. Speaking of the arrest, we have 2 methods of arrest here in the Philippines. Number 1 is the arrest with warrant, and number 2 is the warrantless arrest. At meron tayong 3 grounds para sa warrantless arrest. Number 1 is the caught in the act or in flagrante delicto. So, this one is if a person is committing or commits a crime or attempting to commit a crime, pwede natin siyang hulihin without warrant. Number 2 is had person. If a person has a probable cause based on personal knowledge of fact and circumstances that a certain person committed the crime. Number 3 is escapee or fugitive from justice. Any persons of authority can arrest those persons who escaped from prison or any place they were in wherein they served their final judgment. The next pillar is the prosecution pillar. The prosecution pillar composed of the National Prosecution Service of the Department of Justice, Office of the Ombudsman, and the Public Attorney's Office. At dito sa prosecutor pillar, tinatawag nating respondent ang taong nasampahan ng kaso. We also have 2 types of prosecutor. The number 1 is the public prosecutor and number 2 is the private prosecutor. The public prosecutor is given by the Department of Justice kapag ang isang respondent ay walang kakayahang kumuha ng abogado, while the private prosecutor is the own choice of the respondent at siya mismo yung pipili nito. Let us now go to the 3 functions of the prosecutor. Number 1 is to conduct preliminary investigation, to know if there is a probable cause para ipagpatuloy pa yung kaso. At ito yung mangyayari lamang if the penalty is 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day above. Number 2 is to make proper recommendation during the inquest of the case referred to them by the police. And the number 3 is to represent the government during the prosecution of the case against the accused. The next and the number 3 pillar is the court pillar. It is the final arbiter of justice. The goal of the court pillar is not just to adjudicate cases, but to do so in accordance with the rule of law and without sacrificing the rule of justice. Interestingly enough, the overall performance of the criminal justice system may be determined by the performance of the court pillar. Sa Pilipinas, meron tayong 4 levels of court. The first level composed of the Municipal Trial Court, Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Circuit Court, na kung saan meron silang exclusive jurisdiction sa mga violation ng municipal and city ordinance. Sa second level, meron naman tayong tinatawag na Regional Trial Court na kung saan sila yung meron jurisdiction sa mga criminal cases na punishable from 6 years and above. At kasama na dito yung mga cases ng public officer basta't hindi papasok sa jurisdiction ng Sandigang Bayan. Sa third level, nandiyan ang Court of Appeals, Sandigang Bayan, at Court of Tax of Appeals. Ang Court of Appeals ang second highest judicial court. Ang Sandigang Bayan ay meron jurisdiction sa lahat ng criminal and civil cases of the public officer, employee, related to the Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Sa Court of Tax of Appeals naman ay meron silang kapangyarihan over cases to appeal by decisions of BIR. Sa fourth level naman, narito ang Supreme Court o yung highest court in the land. Binubuo ito ng 14 Associate Justice at isang Chief Justice na kung saan meron silang power ng judicial review o power to declare a law unconstitutional. The fourth pillar is the correction pillar. It comprises of jails and prison administered by the Bureau of Correction, Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, and by the local government units with regards to provincial and sub-provincial jails. Kapag ang akusado naman ay napatunayang guilty by final judgment, hindi na natin siya pwedeng tawaging prisoner or inmate. Ang bagong tawag sa kanya ay person deprived of liberty or PDL. Meron tayong two basic approach in correction. Number one is institutional correction, wherein rehabilitation takes place inside jail or prison. Meron tayong tatlong leading agencies para dito. Unang-una ang DILG, under nito ang BJMP, para sa mga kasong 3 taon or 3 years from below. Under ng BJMP ang lahat ng city, municipal at district jail. Pangalawa, DOJ. Under ng DOJ ang Bureau of Correction para sa mga kasong 3 years pataas. Pangatlo, DSWD. Para sa mga batang nag-commit ng crime o tinatawag din nating child in conflict with the law. The second approach is the community-based correction o tinatawag din nating non-institutional correction, na kung saan ang rehabilitation ay nangyayari outside the prison or wall, katulad ng probation, parole, and other programs. The last pillar is the community pillar or the most important pillar. The community pillar is composed of institutions such as Department of Social Welfare and Development, Commission on Human Rights, National Commission on Indigenous People, Public Attorney's Office, barangays, civic organizations, and non-governmental organizations. Members of the community pillar are regarded to both duty holders and claim holders in the administration of justice. As duty holders, they have the responsibility to assist law enforcement and the courts in solving crime by providing information, by community participation in crime prevention and creating a culture of peace, and by supporting the mobilization of resources for peace and order. The community became part of the criminal justice system within the framework of the crime prevention and helped the integration of the person deprived of liberty to live a new life in the society. I am Reiner Galura, reporting the 5 pillars of criminal justice system in the Philippines. Thank you for watching.